NBA basketball totals for Tuesday, November 22nd. We got 4 games. We're going to cover all 4 games on the card today. So it's not like we have 4. There's only 4, and we're going to cover them all. Be sure to check out SPR for the sportsbook reviews, a lot of sign-up bonuses, things like that. Also, sportsbooks to avoid, and look for the ratings guide and things like that. So a lot of good stuff at SPR. I'll be mentioning that every video to remind you guys to check out the website. And let's go ahead. Let's jump right in. We got 4 games. We also have our NCAA basketball total segment as well. So be sure to check that out. Here we go. First game up, we got New Orleans and Atlanta. Odds makers have it at 210. Some places it was at 209. I saw it at 210 though, and I'm going to go under that total. I think they're going to stay under. Now, of course, New Orleans under Alvin Gentry, and I've mentioned this a million times, they go really fast. But Atlanta plays a really good defense, and there's some percentages, I like with New Orleans to go ahead and stay under this total. Right now, you got the Pelicans averaging 102.5 points per game. That's not that much. Their tempo's fast. Atlanta, they're averaging 105.8 points per game, and I don't think they're going to get a lot of resistance tonight versus New Orleans, who allows opponents 107. Atlanta, though, they're allowing opponents just 98.8. That ranks in the top 10 in the NBA. A couple key statistics of what I like tonight is how Atlanta controls tempo and actually how both these teams are defending overall opponent shooting percentages. So let's talk about the percentages first. You got Atlanta right now. They're allowing opponents to shoot just under 43%. That ranks 3rd in the NBA. New Orleans is not that bad, actually, surprisingly so. They're allowing opponents just 44%. That ranks 9th in the league. Very surprising. Now, offensively, we know they both can score. You got Atlanta, of course, one of the most efficient teams in the league. They shoot just around 47%. New Orleans, not very good, under 44%. That ranks in the bottom 3rd of the league. Tempo's pretty fast, but actually New Orleans not as fast as I would anticipate for them to be. Now, they do allow a lot of tempo. So if Atlanta wants to push it, they could probably get over this 210. But I think they're going to just go ahead, play great defense, and get a win here. Right now, New Orleans are getting up 87 attempts per game. That ranks outside the top 10. Atlanta, not that much. They're getting up 83.5 attempts per game. That ranks 23rd in the league. So, when all is said and done on this one, I really like for Atlanta to step up defensively and go ahead and win this game by, probably around 10 points, and for this to stay under that 210. So I'm going to go ahead and back under with New Orleans and Atlanta. Next one up, we got Portland, New York, 217 points. Set by odds makers, and I'm going to go over the total. Portland, they're such a hard team to back and under against. You got to catch them in the right spot. But with New York and the way Portland plays defense and the way Portland runs tempo and the way New York runs tempo, I think we're going to get over. Right now, you got Portland averaging 108 points per game, but they're giving up 112, which ranks 3rd to last in the league. New York, offensively, they've been fine. Defensively, they've been subpar. They're averaging 102.4 points per game, but they're allowing 106. Not great. Now, there's some issues on the defensive side from both teams. New York's played okay defense at times. I don't think they're going to be able to do it tonight. I don't think they're going to defend Portland. I think they're going to prefer to go ahead and run with them, especially with them both coming off some rest. Right now, you got New York. They're shooting 45% from the field. That ranks 10th in the league. You got Portland. They're shooting 40. They're also shooting right around 45%. But what I like about Portland is they're shooting 36% from distance. That's solid. And New York is allowing opponents to shoot 36.5% from distance. That ranks in the bottom 5 of the league. So Portland, if McCollum and Lillard can get hot, they're going to score. They're going to score. They love to shoot the 3 as well. I mean, they're getting up 30.7 3-pointers per game. This is Portland. That ranks 5th in the league. That's a lot. Tempo-wise, you got Portland getting up 87 attempts per game. New York's getting up also 87 attempts per game. They rank 6th and 7th in the league as far as tempo is concerned for attempts per game. But then you got Portland. They're allowing opponents almost 90 attempts per game. That ranks 2nd to last in the league. New York's a little bit better, but I just think they're going to get up and down tonight. Gosh. Yeah, statistically, I think they're both going to be able to score. Got some interesting matchups here, especially at the guard position tonight, but I think New York's going to be able to score quite a bit versus Portland. And their most recent games, respectively, Portland went absolutely crazy the other night at Brooklyn. Now, New York has been a little bit better defensively recently, except for their game at Washington, in which they allowed 119 points. but they just played Atlanta, a really good defensive team, and I think it's going to be. And that prior to the Washington game, they played Detroit, a really good defensive team as well, and then they played Dallas, a really slow, bad scoring team. So look for now. Portland comes in, they can run. I think that's what's going to happen tonight. That's why the total's so high at 217, but I think they're going to get over it. So I'm going to go over the total with Portland and New York. Next one up, we got Chicago and Denver. I looked at this one for a while. Oddsmakers have it at 207.5, and I'm going to go under the total. You got Chicago averaging 105.2 points per game, Denver averaging 105.9. Denver's giving up 106.9 points per game. That ranks 22nd in the league, and Chicago's allowing 98.9, so that ranks 9th. Chicago's playing a lot better defense this year than I anticipated. Denver, this is going to be here's the thing with this game. There's a couple conflicts in which I think we're going to see tonight. Number one's going to be on the boards, and number one, who's going to get to the line. And whenever I see a matchup like that, I like to go under the total. When I see a matchup where there's really some points of contention. Here we got Chicago. They rank second in the league in total rebounds per game. Denver ranks first in the league in total rebounds per game at 58 and 60 respectively. Then we got opponent rebounds per game. Denver's giving up 49.4. That ranks fourth in the league. Chicago's allowing just 48.8. That ranks first. So this is going to be a battle of the boards. Another reason I think to go ahead and like under the total. Here's another interesting point of contention. Denver, they are second in the league in free throws attempted per game. Chicago, they're first in the league in free throws allowed per game. So they're not fouling, and they're playing some really good defense. Chicago, surprisingly so. They're playing some nice defense. Opponent shooting percentages are not that great, with Denver allowing 45.8%. That's not very good. Chicago, they are allowing 44.3%. That's not bad. That is not bad. Fast break points, they're both in about the middle of the league. So I don't think it's going to get up and down that much. And I think we're going to see a pretty decent defensive affair. Denver's been a decent defensive team. You know, you look at their last 3 games, they played Phoenix to a high-scoring affair, but that's Phoenix, who really gets up and down and plays no defense. Then they played Toronto into overtime, a game that was under, and then Utah, they had a really low-scoring second half and pulled it out 105-91. But again, that's well under the 207 and a half. Chicago's a little bit better in Utah, but yeah, the way this works out, I think for me, is I think defensively they match up pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to go any further on this. I'm going to go back. I'm going to back under the total with Chicago and Denver. I think that's going to stay closer to 200 points, even under 200 points. So I like the value there at the 207.5. Last one up, we got Oklahoma City and the Lakers. 221 points set by odds makers, and I'm going over. I think this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a real track meet. We got Oklahoma City averaging 105.3 points per game. Lakers are averaging 109.8. Now the Lakers are allowing 109.6. Oklahoma City allowing about 104 points per game. That's not bad. But the Lakers defensively, they've been the dredge percentage-wise. They're defending the perimeter. They're one of the top 2 teams in defending from beyond the arc percentage-wise. But they're allowing opponents overall to shoot 47.5% from the field. That ranks last in the league. Oklahoma City is going to be able to score. And Oklahoma City, they're finally starting to get back to that tempo that I've been talking about, that they weren't quite getting there. Now they are. Now they rank second in the league in attempts per game at 88.8. The Lakers, they allow 87.2. So, excuse me, no, that's Oklahoma City. The Lakers are allowing 86. So they both allow quite a bit of tempo. Oklahoma City is going to push the pace. And Lakers love to get up and down. They really do. And they've been shooting from distance well, decently well. 35.9, almost 36%. So that's good. So the way this matches up, I think we're going to see these guys get up and down the floor tonight. Recently, we've seen an uptick in Oklahoma City's desire to really push the tempo. So 221, I think this is going to end up around 230. So I'm going to go ahead and back over the total with the Lakers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's recap that. We got New Orleans, Atlanta under the 210, Portland, New York over the 217, Chicago and Denver under the 207.5, and Oklahoma City, Los Angeles over the 221. So we got 2 unders, 2 overs, and be sure to check out SPR, and I wish you luck on your picks today.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts and shop for lines at SPRodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.